This 60-second success tip will help you optimize the reliability and impact of your communication through more effective listening. Did you know that most experts consider listening to be the most important communication skill? It is also the most frequently used communication skill and has a very strong impact on those with whom we communicate. It is typically among the top 3 reasons why people get hired or promoted at work, or why others are able to better serve their customers. Unfortunately, it is also the communication skill at which most of us are the least effective. While there are a number of reasons why people struggle to listen effectively, research shows that there are 3 things in particular that are the most common barriers. The first step toward improving our listening is to become more aware of these barriers, each of which has to do with different forms of distraction. First are environmental distractions or background noises, such as loudly ringing telephones, traffic, or other people's conversations. These distractions can make it difficult for us to listen effectively simply because they can make it hard for us to hear what others are saying. A poor telephone connection can have the same effect. Surprisingly, these types of distractions are less troublesome for most of us to manage. We simply tune them out or find another way to connect. Next is a phenomenon called the rebuttal tendency. We all experience this at various times and in varying degrees. It involves the distraction of thinking about and focusing on how we will argue with or rebut what someone else is saying rather than focusing on what they are saying. This tendency often stems from making an early assumption that the information the other party is about to share will not be of value. It is also important to recognize that the rebuttal tendency heightens the urge to interrupt, which can quickly diminish the quality of any conversation. The best way to manage this tendency is to consciously focus on maintaining an open mind when interacting with others. As we all know, it can be costly to assume. Finally, we have personal and internal distractions, which are the most difficult of the 3 to manage. These can include hunger, illness, or nervousness, but the greatest of all internal distractions is none of these things. In fact, the number one internal distraction that inhibits our ability to listen is that we are thinking about and focused on what we will ask or say next, rather than what others are saying to us. Fortunately, there is a simple way we can overcome this distraction, a simple habit that most of us unfortunately choose to ignore. This habit is to better prepare for important conversations, meetings, or sales calls in writing. If at the very least we equip ourselves with a simple bullet list of the things we'd like to say and the questions we'd like to ask during interactions with others, we minimize or eliminate the internal anxiety and distraction of worrying about what we'll say or ask next, because we can instead simply reference the bullet list. As a result, it becomes easier to focus on what others are actually saying. Incorporating this heightened awareness of the most common barriers to good listening, along with a conscious habit of written preparation into your communication, will help you improve your capacity to listen as well as the quality of your interactions with others.